Good evening, everybody. You are watching slash listening to the CoinProz Crypto Talk Hour. I am your host, Randall Parker Jr., and you are in for another exciting, jam-packed episode. Today we have a big roundtable fireside discussion with our guests from the SysCoin team. All right, not everybody knows about SysCoin. We're going to get into all the nitty-gritty, what SysCoin's all about. I got my phone in my hand, so I'm going to be taking comments in the chat so we don't crash the computer this time. We got a lot of things going. Our guest should be arriving soon. It's 7:30 right now on the East Coast in the United States of the occupied U.S. And we are very lucky to be sponsored by CoinProz. I'm going to take a few moments at the top of the show to talk about CoinProz, and then we'll probably get into a little bit more later on in the program. CoinProz is a project that I'm personally involved with. It is it's a news site. It's a social media site. It's a home for cryptocurrency enthusiasts and so much more. CoinProz.com will be launching in the next few days, and it's going to be everything that we have in Reddit and in the troll box on the exchange, and in our news sites and in our IRC chat rooms. But it's going to be a lot more, and it's going to be all in one. So the sum will be greater than the total of the parts. I mean, the whole will be greater than the sum of the parts. So I'm going to save all the SysCoin stuff for when our guests arrive today. We're still waiting to get them in. Hopefully they make it, you know, how this stuff can go. I have them, I message them and everything, so we will see. What was I talking to them on Twitter? Let me go into Twitter. We're currently on Twitter right now at CoinProz Team. So if anybody wants to tweet us, if anyone's watching right now, you can tweet us at CoinProz Team on Twitter, and we'll also be responding to the hashtag BTC Fireside, as in Bitcoin Fireside. We're having a fireside chat. So anybody who tweets right now, there's no tweets in the past 24 hours with that hashtag. So if it comes up, I will know it is for us, for the show, and we'll talk about what you want to talk about. And if you want, I'll even drop you a private link and come on the show. And chat before, after, or with our guests if our guests show up. I'm hoping everything's going smoothly right now on my end. I'm showing all my levels good. It's 7:34 on the East Coast. You are watching and listening to the Voluntary Virtues Network. I'm your host, Randall Parker Jr. This is a live episode of the CoinProz Crypto Talk Hour. I'm showing 0 viewers. I'm sure that's definitely a typo. Couldn't possibly be. We usually have 1,000 or 2,000 viewers every episode, so that can't be true. But I will take this moment to jump into some news because our fine folks over from SysCoin haven't yet made it. And I'm going to open up my SysCoin, my CoinProz team Twitter account. That way I can see if they're trying to contact me there as well. And I don't see them. Okay, cool. So I'll get to them. Maybe there's a time confusion. That could always be. But let's see what is in the news today for the crypto world. This is an exciting story on, you like the word Okay. A day ago, which is yesterday, on Tuesday, a 2003 Ferrari 360 Modena, which is obviously a pretty gangster Ferrari, was actually sold in Dogecoin. So someone actually paid 210 million Dogecoin. I'm going to bring up that article on Reddit if we can get that on the screen. I'm going to do the calculations for you guys. 210 million Dogecoin is something in the neighborhood of, I think I figured out before, around 60 grand. But, you know, Dogecoin value fluctuates every single day. So I can't say for certain if... but that's the cool thing, you know, maybe Dogecoin crashes and the guy just unloaded a bunch of Doge and he's got, granted it's an '03 Ferrari, but a Ferrari nonetheless. Here we go. We should be able to see this article. I have it shared with the community. Now this damn thing says I'm not live. I wonder why. Let's see. It's obviously technical difficulties. You guys are awesome for bearing with me. You can look at this article though. The '03 Ferrari 360 Modena, 210 million Dogecoin. Pretty righteous, pretty righteous. I'm just making sure I'm actually broadcasting right now because something tells me I might not be broadcasting right now. No, I'm totally broadcasting right now. That's what it says. Anyway, nobody's watching. That's cool. This article, I have it shared with shoot. Community. Now I'm talking back to myself. That's really awesome. Okay, we're fixing that, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, so on to the Dogecoin situation. Let's see if we can get the picture of the Ferrari, of the infamous Ferrari. That's pretty cool, though, right? I mean, somebody got themselves a Ferrari. That's not bad. Are we seeing the Ferrari? There it is. Nice. 30,000 or no, 210 million Dogecoin. That's sick. I would easily sell some Dogecoin for that. Let me just do the math and see what that is in Doge to USD converter. This has got to be a thing. We should be able to Google that. Doge converter. USD to Dogecoin. No, not US dollar. US dollar. You sillies. This is a very informal broadcast. But it's cool, man. Cryptocurrency's gonna be catching on. I want to have 1,000 million viewers on this show soon, and people are gonna be like, "Dang!" I'm looking at my tabs right now on my studio monitor to see if I'm giving anything away. Got all my bookmarks and stuff. It's like porno, tax evasion, bullets. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do those things. Okay, so I'm gonna go on my app on my phone real quick. Y'all don't mind, right? We're gonna figure out exactly how much this guy paid for this Ferrari in Dogecoin. All right, currently a Dogecoin is worth. Why can't I find my Dogecoin prices? Oh, here we go. Dogecoin is worth 0.00035 pennies. So let's get out the calculadora. If we had 210 million Doge, I keep hitting my head on the damn microphone. Sorry, guys. 200. That's 210,000. Two bang bang bang. Two bang bang. Two bang bang. 210 million Doge times point. It's probably in the article. 0.003,526. So he spent 74,000 pennies. So that's not a lot of money at all. He couldn't have spent $740. Wait, 210 million Doge? That can't be. Let's go back to the article. Come on, guys. Let's get our stuff together here. All right. We got the Ferrari. Let's see. Hello, Sheebs. Well, if people are buying Teslas with Bitcoins, why not try to sell my Ferrari for Dogecoins? 2003 Ferrari 360 Modena. F1 transmission. Just hit 14K miles. NJ title in hand. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I must have missed my decimal place. 210 million Doge. So 1,000 Doge is 10, 100. 1,000 Doge is 35 cents. So $100,000. I don't know. Yeah, no. He didn't spend enough, I think. If anybody's in the chat and wants to tweet us at BTC Fireside with the answer as to how many Doge he paid, if you want to translate 210 million Doge for us into USD or Bitcoin, I can't figure that out. Well, I just don't want to type it in right now. That's really the main thing. Are we getting anybody tweeting us? Tweets? You guys suck. Come on, tweet. BTC Fireside on Twitter. I'm going to tweet something right now just to get the ball rolling. Let's see. CoinProz is the best. I wonder if you guys are. Yeah, you guys are seeing what I'm. No, you're not seeing my Twitter action. CoinProz is the best site in the world. Tweet. Oh, shoot. Helped if I put the hashtag. All right. CoinProz. This is the best show I've ever done. Crypto Talk Hour is the best show on VVN. Exclamation point. Half kidding. Hashtag BTC Fireside. Hashtag JKJK. Hashtag LULZ. Tweet. All right. So now on the BTC Fireside, let me show everybody what I'm doing here. Let's be a teaching hospital. Who wants to be on the show today? Hi guys. Remember me? I'm your guest. I'm your host. Okay. This is what we're doing on Twitter here. I'm going to show you guys what I'm working with. Okay. See this? Hashtag BTC Fireside. If you were to tweet me right now with the hashtag BTC Fireside, I would see your tweet right there. And then I would do a response or call you out, shout you out on the show. So that's just an idea. I'm going to throw that out there. Let's get back to the news, everybody. Let's get back to the news. Okay. To the next story on today's news platform, we have something very interesting that's taking place. Sweden, a Swedish bank, which we love talking about banks. I know I do. What the heck, man? Why can't I? There we go. Riksbank published a document under their economic commentary section called entitled "Have Virtual Currencies Affected the Retail Payments Market?" authored by Bjorn Sagendorf. And I didn't read the entire article, but I can read the excerpt here on the program and basically tell you what their perspective is from a Swedish Bjorn standpoint. A virtual currency is a means of payment in the form of a digital unit of value. Virtual currencies come in many different forms and are intended to be used for payments made on or via the internet. Pardon me. They differ from national currencies such as the Swedish krona. The national authorities do not regulate the issue of virtual currencies, and there are therefore very little statistics available. This economic commentary explains what virtual currencies are and discuss the risks connected with them. So let me show you what I'm looking at, and I'll tell you where to find it for your future reference, further reading after the program. I found this on Reddit, but it's on the riksbank.se website. And I think you should be able to see what I'm looking at. So, have virtual currencies affected the retail payments market? Short answer, you betcha. Long answer, clusterfuck. Pardon my language. The document here is a 101 primer, a bunch of economic mumbo-jumbo with a bias, and it lands the plane to kind of have a slightly adverse stance. Let me read where I get that from. A Bitcoin transaction is not completely anonymous. It is added to the blockchain. It is registered and easily accessible on the internet. It is possible to identify which wallets a transaction has been made between. However, it is very difficult to link wallets to individual users, which means that the transaction is in practice anonymous. This quality can make Bitcoin attractive for use in criminal transactions and money laundering. Users of Bitcoin may also be subjected to fraud or theft. The most extreme example is the fraud of the exchange site Mt. Gox, in which several 100,000 Bitcoins disappeared. Well, yes, and how many dollars disappeared in the Bernie Madoff scandal, and how many trillions of dollars disappeared in the bank bailouts, and how many $80 billion of our spending capital continues to disappear every single fiscal month when the Federal Reserve Bank creates $80 billion of new U.S. currency notes. So, yes, Swedish people, you made a very astute observation that Bitcoin can be used for theft. So can cash, so can krona, so can the euro, so can nearly any type of asset or currency can be used for theft or black market money laundering activities. So kind of a red herring. Let's kind of avoid that as a pro or con towards or against Bitcoin cryptocurrency. And the Reddit community had similar things to say. Read through it, seems they aren't hating on it, instead seeking to educate on how to use it. Okay, that's a positive commentary. Anyone doing an English summary that was in English, and then someone's trying to spawn a link. Let's try to refresh that, see if we got any more action, since I think this is an old link from yesterday or something. No. Man, cryptocurrency needs a lot of help. You guys really, if you're interested, if you're watching this, realize that you're at the head of something brand new. Imagine you're the first person that you know to get the car that you've always wanted, whether it's a Mustang or a Camaro or a Porsche. Imagine you were the first one you knew in the world to get that as your vehicle. Wouldn't that be amazing for you? Wouldn't that be incredible? in light of that thought, shouldn't you be very happy and very enthusiastic and very positive about cryptocurrency? Shouldn't you be doing something to help cryptocurrency propagate? I'm not trying to sound like I'm doing all the work and you guys need to pick up the slack. I'm just trying to point out that we are a community, and this is get my microphone squared up better. This is a team effort. This is a community effort. So whoever's watching the program right now, I want to thank you for being a part of the community, being part of the conversation. Even if you're not chiming in on the chat right now or getting involved in that way, at least you're trying to inform yourself about Bitcoin. What else we got in the news today? Let's go around. So much cool stuff. So let's go to this story, Bitcoin bull game. So I thought it was Dogecoin, which would make a lot more sense, but it's actually Bitcoin. I'm going to bring the article up so we can all take a peeky peek. I'm starting to get the hang of this Google Hangouts thing, so I don't really need guests. My guests aren't here yet, so we're just doing this old dang thing ourselves. Okay, so BitPay is going to be the sponsor of the St. Petersburg Bowl in the first major Bitcoin sports deal. I got to subscribe to Wall Street Journal. I'll find a better article, a better link in just a moment. But there we go. CoinDesk. In for the win. Shameless plug, CoinProz.com is launching in a few days. CoinProz.com is going to be everything that CoinDesk and the Trollbox and Reddit threads and Bitcoin Talk is, and all that in one. At CoinProz, we're going to offer the community gathering place, the social lounge that you can come to and feel at home and feel like you're really with the rest of your community, and where we can recognize the size of our actual movement. When we're bouncing around different websites, we don't know how big we are as a group. We don't realize how much weight we pull. CoinProz.com is going to be a big avenue to open up cryptocurrency to our own eyes, to make ourselves aware of just how big and powerful we are as a group, as a movement. So it is a pretty awesome thing that we are going to be launching in a few days, and we are going to be bringing a lot of guests on this program from our website community. And once CoinProz launches, we're going to be able to spend a lot more time on this program going over what exactly CoinProz does for the community and what it specifically entails. So let's get to this article. Bitcoin lands NCAA college football bowl sponsorship through BitPay. So that's pretty cool. Let's read that. I'm not a big sports junkie myself, but I will say that exposure is exposure. And if you look at this logo, it's really awesome. I'll make it bigger. Can you guys see it? Okay. Whoa, too big. Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl. That's awesome. I mean, just the fact that you got a Bitcoin logo, you got 300,000 people or so, or whatever, that go to these games. You got a couple million people that usually watch these games. Let's read the top of the article here. We got Merchant Bitcoin Payments Processor BitPay, which is one of the biggest names in the game, has announced that it will sponsor the St. Petersburg's Bowl, which is an annual college postseason football game sanctioned by the NCAA through 2016. This year's game will kick off at Tropicana Field, which is where the Rays play in Florida, and the bowl previously sponsored a chain restaurant, Beef O'Brady's, and U.S. provider Magic Jack. So, good sponsors. Bitcoin itself is not the sponsor, but essentially BitPay is branding it Bitcoin St. Petersburg's Bowl to create awareness for Bitcoin. So now, thanks to the BitPay sponsorship, the bowl will now be known as the Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl. Hopes the sponsorship will raise awareness by promoting Bitcoin to a much wider audience. Blah, 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 blah. So that's pretty awesome. In addition to the new prefix for the bowl, the event itself will become Bitcoin friendly too. ESPN Events says tickets for the 2014 Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl will go on sale later this year with prices starting at $40. However, this time around, fans will be able to purchase tickets and merchandise in Bitcoin. It's not clear what types of merchandise will be available or whether this promotion will extend to in-stadium purchases for food and beverages, though more details are likely forthcoming. So we don't know specifically all the details, but essentially you're talking about being able to buy, your merchandising. You're talking about being able to buy your tickets, probably some T-shirts, some food, some concessions. all with Bitcoin or with yeah probably with Bitcoin. BitPay is in Bitcoin. I don't think they accept any other cryptocurrencies at the oh no BitPay no no BitPay I believe does take multiple cryptocurrencies. So who knows what the story will be there? Will it be just Bitcoin or will it be more than just Bitcoin? But let's assume just Bitcoin for now. I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to reach out to our guests and see if they're available to jump in. We're coming up on almost on the hour, 7:52. Today is Wednesday, June 18th. You're listening to CoinProz Crypto Talk Hour. I'm your host, Randall Parker Jr. on the Voluntary Virtues Network. And we're having a pretty cool show. The guests planned for today are not yet here. We're supposed to be meeting with the team from SysCoin. SysCoin is a alternative to the current way that we do cryptocurrency, insofar as we all are probably familiar with altcoins. An altcoin is an alternative type of coin. So if Bitcoin is your gold standard, and a Litecoin would be an alternative like silver, a Litecoin is an alternative to Bitcoin, or a peer coin, or a Doge coin, or a name coin. Those are all different types of cryptocurrency. So SysCoin is a type of coin, and on this program we're going to invite many projects and many cryptocurrency coin developers or coin teams from their coin onto the program to discuss what makes their coin unique and what makes it worth us paying attention and possibly investing or taking part in their project. So if I don't get the SysCoin guys on here, I will talk about them in just a little bit. So I just busted out my email to see if anyone tried to reach me through email. Let's check Twitter. Let's go back around to the Twitter sphere. Pretty soon doing this live program is going to be awesome because we're going to have a ton of people in the audience just because we have a lot of crypto fans and stuff, and it won't be me just blah, 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 blah. It'll be really what the community is interested in, what they want to talk about, what's something they're interested in Oh, we got a tweet. Oh, that was my tweet. Dang it. Got excited there for a second. Okay, cool. Excuse me. I'm very sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if they forgot or if they fell asleep or what. Kind of embarrassing, but you know what? Growing pains, man. You got to do what you got to do. Let's talk about SysCoin anyway. I did speak to some of the founders before the founders of the project before the program. SysCoin is a proof of work algorithm Scrypt-based coin, so kind of like Litecoin. It's merge mineable with any Scrypt coin. That means that you can mine SysCoin alongside mining another coin if you have your mining equipment set up to do merge mining. SysCoin includes multi-pool protection, which basically it uses something I'm not going to get into, a gravity well type algorithm thing, to retarget the difficulty, and it uses extremely small minimum and maximum values as algorithmic inputs, which is a lot of nerd speak to just basically say that the difficulty retargets really effectively to make it effective to mine. Block reward, you get 128 SysCoin every block that's found, and that's retargeted. I don't know. Oh yeah, with the gravity well. Okay. The block reward halves every 45 days, and then awards will fixate at 5 to 10 SysCoin, which is still to be determined, plus service and network fees. Total SysCoins to be distributed will be in the neighborhood of 268,824. 268,824,600 SysCoin. So I'm sure that's a relevant number for some particular reason. Probably represents something. Launch date is still to be determined. It's coming out soon. So there is an 8% pre-mine, 5% for the IPO, 2% for devs, 1% going to bounties and rewards. So that is your technical coin announcement information. I don't have anything from the SysCoin guys, so I'm going to go ahead and just start getting into their coin a little bit more, and we'll get them back on a future program if they're not available today. Something told me when I was getting in the shower, so you know what? Maybe they don't show up. You have everything figured out. Maybe that's the one thing you didn't figure out, that they're just going to not show up for some reason. and then I guess I attracted that into the universe. But it's all good, man. This is we actually launched the Voluntary Virtues Network on July 1st, and shouts out to Michael Shanklin again for putting this all together. I have this show every Wednesday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. on the network, and then I have another program called Roads to Liberty, which is Fridays from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the same network. And you can find these programs at youtube.com/voluntary virtues, and we're on Facebook at facebook.com/voluntary virtues network. Voluntary Virtues as well. And you can find our website at voluntaryvirtuesnetwork.com. So our network fully launches July 1st. We're going to have dozens and dozens of programs, and we already have about 400 subscribers, 400 and something subscribers to our YouTube page. About 2 weeks in, we already have over 1,500 likes on our Facebook page. We already have a reach of about 60 or 70 or 80,000 people on Facebook in terms of like our actual weekly amount of people that saw our content and stuff. So it's going really well. We're super excited. Anyway, back into SysCoin. So SysCoin is cool. What is SysCoin? SysCoin does some special stuff. It's going to be launching soon, so I'm going to plug them today. Hopefully they come back on the program after they actually launch the coin. But what SysCoin does, which is super, super different, super, super cool, is it has a decentralized asset ledger built into the wallet. So in terms of like hard assets, in terms of like actually, you could sell your bike, you could sell your products for your business, you could sell an ebook, a digital download, all sorts of stuff like that through SysCoin. So if SysCoin took off, which we hope it does, you'll be able to actually put things on the SysCoin network for sale, like an eBay, but it's not on a website. Like eBay's on a website, you have to go create an account and register your username and all that. With SysCoin, theoretically speaking, with the protocol, I could put on there, I want to sell my stamp collection. It's this, and this. I probably could even take a picture. I'm not too sure, but let's just say I do or don't. Doesn't matter. I put my stamp coin up on there for sale, stamp collection rather. I can say exactly what everything is, and you as another person can go into your SysCoin wallet and find out that I have an asset on there for sale. If I put it on the exchange, it's almost like an eBay, but built into the wallet. So getting a little notification. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, you think about it, eBay, there's so many restrictions as to what you can actually put online. You know, it's not, you can't sell heroin on eBay, you can't sell fireworks, you can't sell pornography. Well, you probably could sell like tasteful pornography, but you probably can't sell, you know, and I'm not advocating for anything terribly immoral or, you know, indecent. I'm just saying that letting the community decide what they want, and using social ostracism and shunning and feedback ratings and stuff on websites to exclude people who are not playing right or not playing by the rules or not being the type of players we want to have in our environment, then the market can decide that, and SysCoin is kind of letting it stay up to the market. SysCoin is putting the decision in the hands of the individual who is either making a purchase or listing an item for sale on the network itself. So then another crazy thing that they got going on with SysCoin, which is awesome, is basically, if anyone's familiar with Dropbox, Dropbox is a service for uploading information, storing information in the cloud. And for those who don't know what a cloud is just like an online digital storage drive, kind of like a hard drive in the cloud, or it's basically just on a server somewhere in a building in someone else's office or, you know, business, like in Google or in Amazon or wherever. But your information is out there in the cloud. And Dropbox does that. You pay a service or you get the free account. But again, where's your information going? It's in Dropbox's server. It's somewhere that, you know, I'd like to hope it's safe. I'd like to hope that no one's looking at it. But realistically speaking, I'm sure the NSA or the government, if somebody wanted to, they could get into that information and see it or tamper with it or whatever the case may be. Using decentralized asset ledgers like SysCoin and things like it, we'll pretty much soon be able to fully get into where all the data, all the information, everything in the world that's important will have barricaded behind a wall, or will have gated access to. So anybody with X, Y, and Z token in their wallet can access X, Y, and Z content. Imagine a website where, as you earn tokens, as you earn membership rewards to the site, you get better content, you get more frequent content, you get more exclusive content, you get exclusive offers. There's a service called Clout, which does something pretty similar to that. It's been around for years now. If you go to clout.com, they're completely unaffiliated with cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, but what Clout essentially does is it rewards you for being popular. It rewards you for having an audience and a following. So how this all ties into SysCoin, I'll get to in a second. But so imagine a website where, as you do things, the blockchain is recognizing your actions and it's rewarding you or granting you different access. That's the sort of protocol that SysCoin is allowing for. Maybe every time you write a news article, you're able to get paid in SysCoin. So instead of having to actually send your draft, this is a good example, instead of having to actually send your draft to somebody and have them approve it or whatever, you create an article on the SysCoin network, and you have a protocol that says if the article gets 10 upvotes or 100 upvotes or whatever, then pay the author 1,000 SysCoin or 20 SysCoin or whatever the case may be. SysCoin allows for that. Bitcoin allows for that too, but not natively. It requires application layers on top of the actual Bitcoin protocol, or it requires a 2.0 Bitcoin application that rests on top of the blockchain or sidechain, which some of you guys might know what all that stuff means. But anyway, so the notion of what SysCoin can do with regards to the Dropbox functionality is that you're decentralizing data storage. So you have an email that's sensitive that you want to, or a message that you want to share with a select group of people, 5 people, let's say. You go ahead and upload that to the SysCoin blockchain, and the 5 people who are intended to receive that message will have access to that location and know how to find that file and be able to access it. And individuals that wouldn't know, A, to look there, and B, if they did, they wouldn't have the other part of the key, or they wouldn't have the ability to access that content. They wouldn't be invited, or they wouldn't have the token that grants them access. A lot of this stuff is super theoretical right now, but if you could picture Dropbox, if you could picture having a file on your computer and then uploading it to a server and then having it be somewhere else, but you could still access it at all times, SysCoin's not doing anything really too different than that. It's only just making it so it's not in one person's hands. You're giving that file to a whole community to hang on to, and it's not that anyone even really has it. Everybody has little chunks of it, and no one knows what it is. It's protected. So you have this secretive, almost like notebook that you can write down information in, or store videos or audio files, or whatever secrets you want, and you can access it whenever, and it can't be erased. It can't. I could drop my computer in the river, and X, Y, and Z agencies could come in and raid and shut down any computer company in the world. Google, AOL, Comcast, doesn't matter. What would happen is, at the end of the day, the information you uploaded to the SysCoin blockchain would be still there. So you go ahead, any computer in the world, download a SysCoin wallet, import your public key, your private keys, which you could have written down, and within moments you would have access to the title and property rights of all the individual assets that were listed in your wallet, in your account. And for libertarians and voluntarists out there, I think this is pretty profound if you can tie this all in and figure out why this is apt for this network, why we're talking about SysCoin and cryptocurrency. We're talking about the future of replacing centralized institutions like the state and like government. We're talking about having property right disputes being arbitrated by a decentralized, community-based, rule-based system that doesn't require force, doesn't require using aggression or centralizing your aggression in a geographic area in order to get people to comply with your rules, because the rules are opted into and they're also opt-outable, meaning you don't like the system, go ahead and find another system. You don't like your insurance provider, you don't like your eBay provider, you don't like whatever you're using, get a different coin. Sell your coin, get a different coin. We're moving into an entirely unheard of age of where cryptography and cryptocurrency and money just completely gets a facelift from top to bottom, left to right. the people that are listening to this now and watching this program are probably saying either A, this guy's onto something, good for him. Maybe he's a genius. Maybe he's onto something big. Or B, he's a loon. He's a nut. He's just drinking some Kool-Aid, and that's great for him. But we'll see what happens. He could be right. He could be wrong. But if he is right, it's just a good guess because anything could happen. To that person, I would say you're wrong because people generally embrace new technology. You don't see people walking around with cell phones from the 80s. You don't see people walking around with an abacus, or even a pocket calculator. Who has a calculator in their pocket and a phone and has a video camera on a messenger bag that they carry around their video camera with them? It's all in your phone. You have one device that does everything for you. Pretty soon, you're not going to carry around a credit card and a checkbook and cash and change and an easy pass and this and that and the other thing. You're just going to have your Bitcoin wallets and your cryptocurrency IDs and your wallets, and people will be able to communicate with you and exchange value with you without you having to identify who you are or what your motives are, or to even get a PayPal account or even get a bank account today, you have to sign an inordinate amount of forms. You have to sign away your rights in so many respects that the question bears asking: does the reward or does the trade-off justify itself? Should you sacrifice your personal freedom and your personal liberty financially in order to have the convenience and comfort of liquidity and being able to exchange value immediately or quickly or conveniently? It doesn't make any sense at all from a practical standpoint. I don't understand why anyone would want to voluntarily give away their rights in any aspect, let alone financial rights. There's another movement today in the world from the left who want to suggest that monetary rights or property rights are somehow different than personal rights or human rights, and that's completely insane. And I'll tell you why. Monetary rights are an extension of your personal property rights. They're not separate. They're not additional. People think, oh, well, if anything, I own myself. If anything, I have the right to the proceeds of my labor, or I have the right to gain from my efforts. But if someone taxes my money, that's not really the same thing as like actually putting me in a cage or making me a slave or physically harming me in any way. How is it any different? First of all, because I'm put to work for a portion of my life and I don't get any reward. That's type of slavery, first of all. But your monetary reward is just a representation of your time. And think about your time, your energy, the risk that you put into your labor. When you go out in the field and you pick up a shovel, or you pick up an axe, or you climb up a tree to do a job, or you go out on the beat as a police officer, as a security guard, or whatever the case, you become a doctor, doing your job, you run the risk of something could happen to you on that job. You could become injured, you could become sick, you could become harmed in some way. You could get sued for your actions. So for someone to take a percentage of your livelihood, they're actually saying when you're productive, when you create value, I deserve a portion of that. And the liberals, and I hate to make it a left-right thing, it's really just the statists or whatever, the centralists, the progressives will say, well, it's not the government, it's not that the senators or the president is coming into your house and taking money out of your actual pocket. It's that it's your fellow man, it's the community, it's your brother, your sister, it's your neighbor who needs you, who needs your assistance, and that's why you're being forced to give. You're being forced to give something that you wouldn't necessarily honestly give of your own free will and volition, just because that's how society is organized. So what cryptocurrency is going to do, how this all ties in, is that at some point in time, it's not going to be like, oh, let's vote, let's have a referendum and see if we should move to the Bitcoin or to the Dogecoin or to Litecoin. That's not going to be a vote. That's not going to happen. People are going to be doing it. They're going to be using it. It's not going to be something that people really ask permission for or go out of their way to report that they're doing X, Y, and Z. They're going to go ahead and use it like I'm using it. I couldn't possibly report everything I'm doing if I wanted to, because I have 600 different cryptocurrencies that are all worth 4 and 10 and 20 cents each that I'm moving this much and that much and selling and trading and tipping people in forms. That's how currency should be. That's how money should be. And what I say to all the Austrian economics and economicists, and I believe in the Austrian school of economics as well, but I'm just saying in terms of being strict to the rhetoric of that institution itself and not the actual ideas that backed it up or formed it. Um, when we talk about what money is and we talk about what makes something currency, we get caught up in the intellectual side of it, but we talk about money in terms of how useful it is, and it's useful to the extent that everyone agrees that thing is valuable, that thing counts as money, whether it's a dollar, whether it's a gold bar, whether it's a coupon for KFC. It doesn't matter. It's if someone's willing to give you something in exchange for it, then that's actually worth something. That's actually a kind of money. So cryptocurrency is undisputably money because people are exchanging value for it all day long. I do it all the time. I keep track of my values all the time using an app called CoinTicker on my iPhone. So it's indisputably money to some people. To me, it's money. To the other people I exchange with it, it's money. So, it doesn't have to be textbook money for it to be actual money. It's money when two people agree that it's money. And then it's a decentralized asset exchange when two people agree that it's a decentralized asset exchange, meaning you and I decide that we're going to go into business together and we start it on the blockchain, whether it's Counterparty or SysCoin or Bitcoin or don't matter. We start a business on the blockchain and we put in rules in place when we start as to what our roles are going to be, responsibilities, and we have data feeds that go in to keep us honest. And that is the precedent and premise for our business. That's where we start, and that's how it goes from there. There's no voting or changing speeds or changing gears, because in cryptography and in the blockchain, when something is done, it's done intentionally and it's done permanently. And it can only be changed if the person or parties changing it have that access and have that authority, and it's granted access. You can't brute force your way into a data set that's been cryptographically hashed. Meaning, if I take some information and I turn it into a code of letters and numbers, and then I break it up into pieces, and I send all those little pieces around the world, don't matter how many people you talk to and investigate, you can get all 10 people that I broke it up into pieces and give them, they can give you the code that you wrote down on a sheet of paper, and then you could take all those and combine it a million ways and still have no idea what it is that message actually says, because you don't have the key to descramble the code. When I created that message, in the way I scrambled it, I also have the same way to undo it. I have a key built into that message that allows me to undo it. And that's what cryptocurrency relies upon. That's what cryptography relies upon. That's what the future of our economy and the future of our society will rely upon. When something is cryptographically signed in a blockchain, you can take it to the bank. It is a bank. You can sleep on it. You can put it under your pillow and sleep on it, because the computer doesn't lie and mathematics don't lie. If you put something into a computer and you say, what is this? And it goes, it's a sound file, it's a sound file. Maybe you can trick your computer, but you're not really tricking it, because the computer is doing exactly what you tell it to do at all times, no matter what. So I learned that really early on when I was like a kid, and I was doing computer stuff like when I was like, this is in like the late 80s, early 90s, like computer class in school. And what was really fascinating, my dad was big on computers, so I had a lot of that in the home, but what was fascinating to me was that the computer was actually never wrong. So when you're frustrated and you're bashing your head in and going, why won't this dang thing work? What's going on? Whatever. You can be mad as you want to be, but the computer's not wrong in a sense, because it's doing exactly what it's programmed to do, unless it's under some sort of undue stress or whatever the case may be, if it's actually malfunctioning. But anyway, so I didn't have a guest today, so I had to kind of ramble on a little bit in the middle of my SysCoin discussion, but we talked about the origins of the project. Oh no, we can't talk about the origins of the project because I don't have my guest, and we can't talk about really the way to move forward. I will tell you that if you want to get involved, I would go over to syscoin.org. That's SYSCOIN.org. I'm going to bring up their website on the screen, so our viewers now and after the fact can have a chance to see the SysCoin website. I think it's over here. Is it over here? Let's see. That's the Twitter action. Let's see what we got on Twitter. Anybody chatting with us? Nah, no chatties today. That's all right. We'll get there. No chats in the Twitter box. Okay, SysCoin. Boom. If you head over to syscoin.org, you'll get a screen that looks something like this that you're seeing here. Business on the blockchain, brokerage on the blockchain, certificates on the blockchain, miners matter. Be in the, be the be the know first. When see that's not that I would point that out to them. There's want to be the know. Probably want to be the first to know. See, this is a community project though, so I already signed in this box, but I'll let them know. Little typo on the website. But they got a great team of people. I already spoke to Mike, this gentleman here, Mike Wheeler. It's cool. He's a marketing guy over there. And I spoke to Jonathan. And I guess Dan was a guy I need to get in touch with. Probably couldn't get Dan. He's the team manager. So I'm going to be talking to him in the coming days, in the coming weeks, and we'll try to get him on the program. But head on over to syscoin.org, jump on their mailing list. Doing so will allow you to find out when they're going to hit their IPO and when you can get yourself some SysCoin. In the meantime, while I have some tabs open, I want to bring up CoinProz. I want you to go over to CoinProz with a Z, CoinProz.com. Once on the site, watch the site was live right now, I'd lose my mind. No, it's still a landing page. Okay. Regular landing page situation, nothing fancy. Drop your email here, subscribe to this here too. Your email at whatever, you know what I mean? Do this. Submit, subscribe, and follow the social links. Follow CoinProz on Facebook and Twitter. This is going to be the new everything, the new Reddit, the new Bitcoin Talk, the new Trollbox. When you want to find out what's going on in cryptocurrency, what the latest news is, what the prices are, who's saying what, where the charts are. We're not going to have every single feature in place at launch, but we're going to have a lot going for us. And the fact that they were willing to step up and bring me on as a marketing director, saw the promise in me, wanted me to help them get the message out there. Big news for me. I'm happy about that. And we're going to be able to really funnel a lot of the community people we get into CoinProz onto this program. So that'll help the Voluntary Virtues Network, and that'll help us get a bigger audience aware of cryptocurrency and aware of voluntarism as well. So really happy to be making all these ties in together. We got about 10 more minutes left on the program. I'm going to go back to the Twitter sphere real quick and see if anybody's tweeting us. We are not getting the tweets at BTC Fireside. That's okay. Some people are not on the Twitter. But I didn't want to do a chat room situation. Well, actually, I did want to do a chat room situation today, but I don't see any chats taking place. But maybe it's just like a lag or something on my end. But we really appreciate everybody who watches our programs here on the Voluntary Virtues Network. We're still starting out. We're still a brand new thing, but there's not a lot of things out there doing what we're doing. Like, there's not a lot of networks like Voluntary Virtues Network. There's not a lot of groups of content creators that this large in one place at a time. So we're pretty happy to have this opportunity, and we kind of caught you guys' attention. So I think we're captivating people's imagination a little bit and showing them what voluntarism can be and showing them what cryptocurrency. Well, I'm trying to show you guys what cryptocurrency can be, and make the program as fun as I can make it. When it's just me, it's a little bit not pressure or anything. I don't really care. I could talk to myself for hours on end, but we're gonna have mostly guests. We're gonna have mostly a community-driven conversation here as we develop the program. We got 10 more minutes on the program. We're gonna jump back into some news real quick. I want to see what else we got. I touched on the bowl game, which is pretty cool. That's the biggest news. The St. Petersburg Bowl. Oh, shoot. U.S. government accidentally reveals private personal email addresses of all seized coin bidders. So this is one I could probably wrap the show up with the next 10 minutes. Get my screen share back on. This is funny. It's almost like I Love Lucy. You guys remember that show from like back in the day? Every episode she would do something wacky and zany and get herself into some trouble, and Ricky Ricardo would come and be like, "Lucy, you got some splaining to do," and then she'd be like, "Ricky," and like whatever. That's the whole shtick. But here's an example of USMS Bitcoins, USDOJ.gov. Subject: recall Bitcoin auction. Frequently asked questions. To So somehow this is just proof, I guess, but somehow the entire list of people who would be bidding on this list. This was an auction. Is an auction where the seized bitcoins from the first Silk Road, when the Dread Pirate Roberts was taken down and his Bitcoin were seized, the Bitcoins that were seized there are now being auctioned off by the U.S. Department of Justice, I guess, to turn Bitcoin into fiat. If they only knew, right? If they only knew that, let's say they're going to auction off like whatever it is, 80,000 Bitcoin or 100,000 Bitcoin or whatever. What about in 10 years from now when a Bitcoin's worth $1 million each and they're in the biggest budget deficit in the world? Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Proof they did it twice. Reddit's the best. Honestly, like before I found Reddit, I had no idea that there was so much information out there. But yeah, so I'm gonna go on Reddit, trust them on this one. But yeah, they're saying that this is officially leaked. So now everyone that was bidding kind of burnt their butt, so to speak, for trying to get their Bitcoin from the government. That teaches them they should be buying from exchanges. They should be buying from localbitcoins.com, where you can buy Bitcoins from real people, as opposed to from from the state. What other stories? Are there any cool stories today for you guys? I think that might be what I really have planned, but we'll just go through the rest of the Reddit stuff, and then I'll think of some other stuff too. 13-year-old son sold 0.01471 Bitcoin for $10 at school. That's a cool, cute little story. Let's bust that open. I did the math before the show because I saw that article. I thought it was cool. That's like $6 worth of Bitcoin, something like that. No, actually, no. It's pretty much $10 worth of Bitcoin, to tell you the truth, because at $600, that would be, yeah. So some kid, my 13-year-old son comes up to me after school yesterday and says, I sold some Bitcoin to my friend in school. I almost cried. I was like, F yeah. I was most excited not about the 10% gain in profit, wink, but the fact that my son has started a conversation about cryptocurrencies and teaching other classmates how to use it. 5 of his friends now want to start mining. This is just awesome. Generation Bitcoin. Yeah, we're going into an era where you're going to be buzzing down the highway and you're going to want to get through, and you're going to be able to just kind of click a button on your steering wheel and say, offer tip, offer whatever, dollar, offer 50 cents, offer 25 cents, offer $2. You can offer someone a micro payment to move out of your way. You know what I mean? Or you're at Great Adventure, you're at the amusement park, you're at the ball game, and you're waiting in a line, and there's the regular line, and then there's the line that charges you. There's the free line, and then there's a line that charges you $1 a minute to stand in it, but it's a much shorter line. So maybe it'll cost you an extra $1 for your meal, but you only be in that line for a minute. Whereas the other people are willing to stand in the free line and wait an extra 2 or 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes to get a meal. You couldn't do that with Visa. It'd be too much of a pain in the butt to charge someone when they got into a line, when they got out of a line, when they got into a line, and back and forth. But with cryptocurrency, it could be a feature. And it could be to where when you walk under a little screen, it'll tell you if you're permitted to go into a space or not. And if not, a siren will go off or some alarm will go off, and security will come out and say, hey, you're not allowed to go down this hallway. You don't have the right token. But it's all just tokens. It's all just permission. It's all just information. It's all just data. And representing data with ink on paper is so ridiculous. And then trying to represent the pieces of paper with ink in a digital system, and then trying to centralize that to a central point of attack where anybody can hack in or rob a bank or inflate a money supply and devalue the currency that's in your hand is also stupid. So I'm your host, Randall Parker Jr. I'm coming up on the close of the program right now. It's Wednesday, almost 8:30 on the East Coast of the occupied United States of America, and you're watching the CoinProz Crypto Talk Hour on the Voluntary Virtues Network. We air live or pre-recorded in this time slot every single Wednesday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. And my closing point to you guys, my closing plea is to really consider what your freedom's worth to you, really consider what your life is worth to you. Why were you put here? What does it mean when you say to somebody that you love them or that you care about them or that you want to do what's best for them? Are you saying something superficial or are you saying something meaningful? And if you're saying something meaningful, then why would you let the representation of value that's tied to your earnings, that's tied to your livelihood, that's tied to your family's livelihood, why would you let that store of value be arbitrary? Why would you let that be something that's made by decree, by force? That's what fiat means, by decree. Meaning Some powerful person said, this is valuable because I said so. How about Bitcoin's valuable because a million people say so? How about cryptocurrency is powerful because a billion people say so? How about pretty soon in the world, there'll be a billion different currencies? You know, a currency for your town, a currency for your school, a currency for your job, a currency for your hobbies. And it won't be hard to do. It won't be confusing. It won't be a conflict. It'll be very easy to figure out. You'll have tools that you could just suck all your currency from all your different pools and transfer them into one main thing real quick and buy something big if you wanted to. But it'll be a great way to save. And I'm already using it that way. And I put $10 in this Bitcoin wallet for tipping, and I put $5 in this Bitcoin gambling site. So if I get bored, I can play slots for like 1 cent pulls or whatever. But if I ever needed that money, it's not stuck there. It's not like a token that I can't redeem. I just go withdraw from all my accounts. I have money in exchanges. I have maybe it's $10 here, $2 there, $5 there, but it's not $2. It's 7,000 Whitecoin or 20,000 Pinkcoin. So I personally would rather have 50,000 of this and 100,000 of that than have a couple pennies kicking around in a coffee jar that I know will never be worth anything and will never buy me anything. Cryptocurrency is exciting. It's new. It's revolutionary, and it will be the future. It will be where we're going in the future. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning into the CoinProz Crypto Talk Hour. Thank you to our sponsor, CoinProz. Check them out at coinproz.com. They are the future. They are the new central hub, the new social lounge and gathering place for cryptocurrency. coinproz.com. Stay tuned for more programs on the Voluntary Virtues Network. I'm your host, Randall Parker Jr. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Come back next week. We'll see you soon.